Meant to do the dramatic start. Screwed that up. All right. What's up, everybody? It's Geoff Graham with the ABQJournal, joined by Sean Ryder, who is actually at the Journal. I am not in the office. I am rarely in the office, but we are here now. We are here for our ABQJournal Sports Live, sponsored by Sandia Sportsbook. Thank you, Sandia, for sponsoring this and our podcast when we do them. And Sean, what's up, man?
Hey, Grammer. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Doing all right. StreamYard, which is the service we use to do this little weekly show of ours, is having some problems posting to X, but I just manually posted it, so you should see a post now. And you can share it on your X account, but it is also, as always, on YouTube. Actually, I should make sure it is on YouTube. Yep, it is. Let me mute that. High tech stuff going on here.
To explain to everybody the hat bit. I came into today's stream before we went online, and it just looked like that, and he was kind of breathing a little heavy, and it was very, very dramatic. Start of a music video, something like that. I don't know. Pretty crazy.
I could sing.
You got USA Slovakia on? You got that?
I do not. I should, but I do not.
We will be if you really want us to live react to USA Slovakia, this is the show for you.
We should do more live streams like this while watching something.
What do you want to watch? La Bamba?
We can't.
Oh no, that's actually not the worst idea.
Don't do this to me. People watching us react to me watching La Bamba.
That's kind of like Field of 68. They've done that a little bit too.
Yeah.
Cover 3 Pod. They've done that with some of the late games when they record on Saturday nights. But it's always pretty fun if they got a good game going.
I think we could probably pull it off with. I guess we kind of did it with the spring game last year. We can't really do it with basketball because I'm there working. We could try it with I don't know. Let's see what we can do. Figure something out.
We usually, when we record, we could do like a soap opera, like a telenovela, like something like that.
So we've done it. We've done the live stream, like watching an event from last year's spring game and the balloon fiesta. Yeah, I think we need to expand to like just I don't know, a Saturday afternoon at Costco or something like that.
Ice Tubs game, something like that.
I like it.
Okay. Richie, what's going on, man?
Richie's in. Listening to the new Ek Pod, and he's such
what's that word? I don't know what that word is. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Such an old ball coach is what I think that says.
Such an old ball coach, man. We're talking about old ball coaches. One of the premier young-ish old ball coaches, Mick Cronin, had himself a week, man. Golly.
I should have pulled that. I regret now that I didn't pull that up and just have that video ready to go. Like, what a piece of work. I mean, so like I texted people this week about old Mick, and like nobody seems to have he's just frustrated or good for him going after that reporter. Look,
Matt Wenzel, who is a really, really nice guy.
Yeah, and I ask plenty of dumb questions, man. But like, dude, get over yourself if that's really the way you're going to go at a reporter for asking. Look, some of you on this show right now may think it's a stupid question. If an opposing student section is getting on a player during a game and the question is about whether or not he thinks that was affecting the player who had a bad game, then it's fair to ask, like, hey, what do you think about their student section?
It's particularly relevant too in the fact that Xavier Booker was a highly touted recruit that went to Michigan State, a guy that a lot of people had interest in. He was had a pretty disappointing Michigan State career in a lot of respects. Transferred to UCLA. Izzo talked about him last week in the sense of, hey, don't boo this guy. We love Book, yada yada. Like, you're always going to write about something like that, and that's how you're serving your readers, by asking a question like that and asking Mick about that. And I know Booker, he spoke to the media after the game too. Spoke to some TV people, I'm pretty sure too. So I don't know, but he apologized today though. So Not
it's all good, right? It's all good now.
apologize to Steven Jamerson. So, well,
I'm hearing echoes again from your side.
are you?
Yeah,
How bad?
not bad. Desert Lobo wants to know if Utah Valley is on timeout with the WAC.
That is another really weird situation, and WAC does not appear to be budging.
That is a weird situation, and in this this era of conference alignment and realignment and all that good stuff. I'm kind of surprised maybe something like this hasn't already happened. But anyway, I'm trying to see. Oh, okay, never mind. I got the. I was getting a call from somebody there in the office with you. The call is coming from the office. The call is coming from inside the house, and I was getting a call from somebody there who I just texted and said, "I'm on the show with Sean."
You ever seen that movie When a Stranger Calls?
No, I have not. You want to live stream it?
First, like 20 minutes of that movie, like terrifying, like actually unreal, like how scary that is.
What's the scariest movie you've ever seen? We will get into some actual.
We will actually talk some stuff. I don't know. The first 20 minutes, it's not a very good like movie overall. The first 20 minutes, though, are pretty insane. I would put that up there.
You ever seen Stir of Echoes?
No, I've never even heard of that.
You should. It's scary. Stir of Echoes. I read all the books, so I like the Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal, Red Dragon,
yeah,
trilogy. Yeah. I like those, but I also read the books and really liked the books. So yeah, Red Dragon was the better book. Silence of the Lambs was the better movie.
My mom, who is not watching this show right now, I do know that saw Silence of the Lambs in theaters and walked out like midway through. She was like just disgusted with it, like was not a fan. Just thought it was overly gratuitous, yada yada. I really like Silence of the Lambs. It's a great movie. So I haven't read the book though, so probably put that on the list. Manhunter is also sick. Big fan of that.
Yes. Trazen. Thoughts on the media brackets yesterday? Anything crucial for UNM besides being first four out? I do think that their emphasis on WAB, wins above bubble, is all teams can do is hope that's true. That they at least now know what metric they got to try and figure out, right? Like there have been years that they were told to emphasize X, and then come Selection Sunday, the committee kind of said, "Oh, we really looked at this instead this year." And look, the main thing is you win your games, all the metrics go up a little bit, and that's the main thing. Nobody's arguing that there's a real obvious way to game the system or trick this or that, but there are little tiny twerks or tweaks that you twerks.
That's going on.
A lot of college twerking going on. There are some tweaks you can do to your scheduling and all that kind of stuff to address the specific metrics sometimes. And look, the coaches and programs at this level, UNM's level, just want to know like what they're looking for. I will tell you this: my expected reaction was, I hate seeing that the last four in includes two SEC teams that didn't play a single road game in non-conference, in Georgia and in Missouri. I know the committee is never going to really ding a team for that, because the committee and everybody in that room is either athletic directors or commissioners from power conferences, or athletic directors or commissioners that sort of want to aspire to that. Like, there's not a whole lot of standing up for the little guy in that committee, and they can say they do, but they don't. The idea that like power conferences don't even have to play one road game anymore, not even one road game in non-conference. And that's why, again, people complain about the Lobo schedule and the Mountain West. Every school fan base complains, oh, can't get any good home games. Well, this is why Missouri and Georgia are in the field of 68 right now, and in the NCAA tournament in this mock selection that occurred yesterday. And neither one of them scheduled a road game. Now, they both played a road game in the SEC ACC Challenge, which was a mandated. They did not schedule it. It was, you have to go play these teams because of TV money and stuff, and ESPN has the contract on the ACC SEC Challenge. But it's kind of ridiculous. I will say I also found interesting that three teams in the bubble, like last four in or the first four out, like in that conversation, VCU, New Mexico, and Santa Clara, are sort of teams at this level that all figured out a way to do home and homes with each other, get the best you can, because the Georgias and Missouris won't come to the pit. But UNM has a home and home with Santa Clara that started this year. in the pit. They will return the game in Santa Clara next year, and with VCU that was here last year and in Virginia this season. And like the best available games you can get is what you have to do. Fans don't get overly excited about VCU and Santa Clara, but these are teams that are in the first four in, first four out kind of conversation right now, because they tried to figure out a way to get the best games they could, and it's just sort of the reality of it. What do you think, Mr. Michigan State?
You were talking about twerking, and I imagine like that media selection room with Goodman and Norlander and all those guys, and like Landers on the table, just letting it rip.
That's right. I was just twerking, by the way, in my chair.
All right. Next question. Okay.
Did you raise your voice at me?
That like. Look,
I thought he was kidding at first. I thought he was joking.
I thought, like, look, I probably can't say the word I exactly want to use to describe Mick Cronin's conduct in that moment, but like, just like, so I'll settle for like really lame and like immature and like all that. It is also what a crazy thing to say. That is hilarious. Like, I feel for Matt Wenzel, who I imagine, like, honestly, that's a dude who does not really want the spotlight on him in this sense and all that, even if he is getting some credit and all that, just by being the guy that Mick Cronin was kind of unloading on. But what a wild thing. And then, I will say he let off an amazing, like, come on, dude. Just a great, come on, man.
I really thought he was kidding at first. Like, I thought he knew the guy. I didn't know who it was at first. I thought they were just like kind of joking, like Patina would give me crap about shit last year. I said crap so I wouldn't cuss, and then I said about give me crap about shit. So, and I went ahead and repeated it.
Family-friendly live show.
Desert Lobo's in on YouTube. When Air Force won the Mountain West 10, 15 years ago, what did they have then that they don't now? I'm surprised they haven't won one Mountain West game. I do
got to ask this. Like, I mean, like, like I know, oh my gosh, who's the suspended coach? Joe Scott or whatever?
Yep, Joe Scott.
Yeah, Joe Scott, like when he won the league, and then I think they won the league like a couple seasons after too. No, maybe they just went to the tournament. Yeah, like I mean, like I don't know. I was in a position in terms of my age to be really intently following the Mountain West at that point. I mean, things have changed obviously, but like, what has been the biggest change in your opinion?
So 2000. Okay, I'm pulling it up now. 2007. Air Force was in the NIT and finished 10-6 in the league and 26-9 overall, having a very good season, obviously, that year under Jeff Bzelic.
Yeah.
In 2008, Jeff Reynolds comes in, and not 2008, sorry. It was 2006 and 2007. 2006, they were the 13 seed in the Mountain West or in the NCAA tournament. And again, they were in that large team and got a 13 seed. That doesn't happen anymore, by the way. What did they have? They had, Antoine Hood was fantastic, by the way. He was a 6'4" guard. He was a senior guard. And looking at their roster, they were senior, junior, senior, and then a sophomore and a freshman off the bench. Everything Dave Pilipovich used to tell me and Joe Scott used to tell me about the best teams Air Force has are guys that have been in the academy for 3 or 4 years. So when you have seniors and juniors, and you've been playing that unique system for that long, you tend to have better teams. Now that was an outlier. Obviously, you usually don't have Mountain West Conference champion teams, but they did that year. And Antoine Hood was a legitimate star. Like, he was a pro player, and frankly, probably the best. Maybe Scott, but anyway, probably the best player that Air Force has had, and it was a little bit of a 2-year flash in the pan. They don't stand a chance anymore. What did they have then that they don't have now? Seniors and juniors is the answer. Against Fresno State last weekend, I forget what it was the other night against the Lobos, but against Fresno State, they scored 63 points and 57 were from freshmen. They had 57 points scored by freshmen. In a game, they scored 63 points. You don't see that. And you lose by 40 twice to the Lobos, basically. It was almost 40 because they had a 3-pointer late, cut it down to 38. But you're doing that because you have, for most of the game, you have 5 freshmen on the floor who are unscholarship freshmen. And you should be losing big. And they don't stand a chance in this modern era. players can move out, but they can't move in. It was funny. Utah State ended up pulling away and beating Boise State pretty soundly just 2 nights ago in Logan. And at the end, the crowd was going wild because Luke Kearney gets in. Luke Kearney hits a jumper. Well, he's a deep bench player for Utah State. That was a starter for Air Force last year. And Jake Hybritter, who the Lobos play at Fresno State tomorrow, their best player was an Air Force player. Rightus Petritus, which is a name I love, playing at Cal this year, was an Air Force player. Their best players are playing everywhere but Air Force right now, and they could have a starting 5 of players that are playing at other schools out west right now. So anyway, that's the difference. Is you can transfer out of Air Force, but you cannot transfer in this transfer portal era.
I'm seeing a lot of on Twitter, and obviously, it's through the Mountain West the Mountain West perspective, and obviously with Air Force being kind of the focal point there and how bad Air Force basketball has been. On the other hand, I'm also seeing that Navy basketball won the Patriot League, and the Mountain West is a better basketball league than the Patriot League. I don't think there's going to be any real arguments there. I mean, do you think some of the in my opinion, I think some of the service academies, they just can't compete in this era. I think some of that's a little bit overblown. I think it's gotten a lot harder. I still think you can absolutely compete in football. Basketball, I think, is really kind of a big red flag there. But I don't know. I think some of the stuff about the depth of the service academies and being competitive in the NCAA, like I think that's a little too premature. But it's definitely gotten harder. So
yeah, Navy, just for comparison's sake, the Mountain West right now, we're just our good friend Ken Palm here. I'll pull it up on this screen so I don't have to keep turning my head.
Not Doug Gottlieb's good friend, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I know. The Patriot League is ranked 27th out of 31 leagues right now. The Mountain West is ranked 6th outside of the Power 5 in basketball, Big East being the 5th. It's the Power 4 and the Big East get a lot more money, but the Mountain West is number 6 and the Patriot League is 27. So the leagues, there is a difference, as you noted, but that said, Navy is significantly better than Air Force. Navy right now in Ken Palm is 153, which is 79 points higher than anybody else in their league right now. So Navy's having kind of an outlier league in the Patriot. They're significantly better than anyone else in that league and won that league outright.
Yeah.
And but they're at 153 in the net, or in not in the net, in Ken Palm right now. If you want to look at where that would rank right now, that's exact same season, all the metrics being the same. 153 in the Mountain West right now would be 10th in the 12-team league. Only San Jose State and Air Force would be behind Navy this year. So they would be behind Fresno State, behind UNLV by 30 points, in fact. And that's what the best team in the Patriot this year would be the 10th out of 12 teams in the Mountain West this year. So there is that gap. That said, you don't have to be as bad as Air Force. Like, I don't think the service academies have to be 347 out of 365 teams like Air Force is this year. And I think Joe Scott being fired, which I predict will happen, because you don't go on indefinite suspension that they can't resolve by the end of the year and come back. And the only rumblings I've heard up there are that, they're going to have to go find another coach this offseason, which I, by the way, would love to see Dave Pilipovich just go back and then fix the error of removing him in the first place. For
a second, I thought you were volunteering. Like I by the way, I would love to coach Air Force basketball.
Let me formally announce right now my candidacy for Air Force men's basketball coach. No, the Fire Grammar campaign would be there real quick.
It's really not to keep cutting you off. It's really spread. GCU obviously with the signs and all that too. I mean, it's really catching on, man. Your seat's getting a little warm.
It was at the Spectrum the other night. They were on BJ's show, and on BJ's show we're saying Fire Grammar. So what can I say?
U.S. with the penalty kill on Slovakia.
USA. I would agree with this. John Romero's in on YouTube's Mail Ponce has never seen a shot he didn't like. There's also nobody having a better time in college.
Beat me to it. Gosh darn it.
Than Tameo Ponce. I don't know if you watched any of the game the other night, but Tameo did get in. Played 8 minutes.
He played 8 minutes?
Yeah.
I didn't watch a second of that game.
The Lobo's human victory cigar was gunning. He got in the game and they're up 30 something, and he has a drive to the basket. He hits a 3-pointer. He had a dunk on a fast break. Luke Cobb outlet pass down court, French connection. It was something to be seen, and a couple defensive breakdowns too.
It's gonna happen, man. When you put the human victory scar out there for 8 whole minutes, it's not all gonna be great.
No. Yes, Ryan Desert Lobo's asking on YouTube, is Ryan Berryman still in the running for the AD job? He is. We have not had any identification of a list of finalists. I do have the contract with sort of the deadlines, the dates, and I do need to update that here pretty soon, probably over the weekend. I'll do an update on sort of where the search stands. Ryan Berryman is still involved. Jalen Dominguez is still involved. There were some guys that were involved the last go round that, since this is the same search committee chair and the same search committee, outside search committee, Daniel Parker, or Parker's executive search is running it, and Del Archuleta is the chair of the UNM's internal committee. Because those same people are involved, I imagine if they really liked a candidate last go round that they want to talk to again, they might do that as well. I know Ryan's a popular local choice, but I got to tell you, so is Jalen among a lot of donors. So two real popular local candidates this go round. Here we go, Sean. BT is in on YouTube. Sean, do the Lobos have replacements for the kicking game?
They do, and I actually wrote a little bit about this in a story that is in today's print edition and went up. Well, I didn't write a ton about it, but Nicholas Romero, who is a Wagner transfer, he made, I believe, as a true freshman last year. I don't have his career longs or anything like that, but at Wagner as a true freshman, he went 13 to 14.
47.
What's up? 47. That's, you said that, or
yes, I did say that.
Said that? Okay. All right. Nicholas Romero is a guy that kind of made the point last week in the press conference. He said, I really enjoyed only missing one field goal all year with Luke Drzwicki, who I think was 17 of 18.
Yes.
Was he? Okay. All right. And they want to get that, they want to keep a good kicking game there. So definitely intrigued by him. I'm curious to see how Glasgow, who did kickoffs this last year, really for the most of the second half of the season, if I recall correctly, who was a Montana transfer. I'm curious to see how he kind of factors in, but right now I would say Wagner to me is kind of the at this moment, without any of these guys putting pads on and getting out there and being able to see them during spring practice, which is coming up soon, I would say Wagner is probably the guy I'm kind of looking at in that regard. But
yeah, I mean, he goes by the nickname Wagner, but most people call him Nicholas Romero. If I
just call him Wagner again.
Yeah, he did.
Oh my god! Yeah, Nicholas Romero, who went to Wagner. Sorry about that.
If I had to guess, I'd say he went 13 for 14 last year on field goals with a long of 44, 6 of 6 from 40 to 49. His one miss was in the 30 to 39 range, but that's just a guess.
I think that's exactly that's a very similar profile to Drzwicki. The one miss he had, which might not have even been a miss against Nevada. That was in that. Oh my gosh, that was in that second range there. And then for the other facet of the kicking game with punting and all that, of course you got Charles Steinkamp coming back. He's gone to Florida State and has been posted at least one TikTok that kind of got him into a little bit of trouble with Lobo fans. Or Instagram or whatever it was.
What did you tell me? I don't know.
He was in Florida State's locker room or weight room, excuse me. And he was it's basically what he said was you go from JUCO to this and just kind of skipped over New Mexico in the middle. And not that I'm not saying that New Mexico's facilities hold the candle to Florida State's or anything, but certainly I think they were nicer than City College of San Francisco. And,
he did go from JUCO to that, but
yes.
I imagine my guess is
I get what he was saying. I get it. I just probably would have been
he probably wasn't intentional with the slight there, but whatever.
Yeah, I could understand why some people were wait a minute, but no, Charles Steinkamp obviously coming back. He'll be in contention for a starting role along with Michael Kern, who started his career at Texas, and he was the starting punter for however many games in that college football playoff run, obviously ending in the semifinals against Ohio State, transferring to Cal and, punted all last season with them. And now he's here. I think he's a walk-on. I don't think he's a scholarship player. From what I saw,
if I'm not mistaken, I saw a long snapper come in too.
Lincoln Epstein as
There we
well.
go.
Yes. To replace Trey Dubuque, who transferred to Texas. So lots to, I imagine this spring and really this fall will probably be like the most I've ever written about specialists and specialist competitions, because there was the punting competition last year, but really before that, I mean, honestly, it was Drzwicki had always been here in the seasons before, and Aaron Rodriguez had always been here in the seasons before. So plenty to write about in terms of special teams this year.
This spring, Sean's going to be kicking it. John is in on YouTube. The NMSU Aggies have been using the rope-a-dope after Burner's ready to ignite the last few games and postseason tourney. GG, what odds do you give them to make the NCAA play-in game for the big dance?
I really want a team to just sandbag and just try this at some point. Like,
yeah, I mean,
I really like it. Yeah, that'd be kind of awesome.
Very low chances. I will say Hooten said recently he thought they were playing as good as they've been playing pretty much all year. So we'll see if it matters. Like, you know, I was pulling up the Ken Palm numbers here for Navy and all that. New Mexico State right now 165, which is 13 spots behind that Navy team, 12 spots rather behind that Navy team. But yeah, New Mexico State's at 165. They were as low as 185 or 189, I think, at one point, just a couple weeks ago, or maybe that was the net. They were in the 180s. If they get their net back to 135, that quad 3 loss the Lobos have will just be a quad 2 loss. So yeah, if you're a Lobo fan, root for the Aggies. Trey on YouTube is telling us, with the push to power consolidation to top of the NCAA, i.e. SEC and Big Ten, is this level of spending and turnover sustainable long-term for most Group of 6 teams or even bottom P4 teams? I mean,
in the current structure, probably not. No.
Yeah, but what are they going to do? Like if there's 136 FBS teams, 136, something
It's
like that.
137 now of North Dakota State.
Let's call it 137 then. 137 FBS teams. If 30 or 40 of them are going to basically be the elite, yeah, it's not sustainable for the rest, but like you're still talking 90 other teams, so they're still competing against each other. Like, it's not going to go anywhere. I do think sometimes you have to kind of put the context in. Like, yes, it might destroy the elite level and the competition between the elite and that second tier, but like these 90 other teams aren't going anywhere. They're still going to be there competing with each other. It just may not be, very competitive with those top teams. But is it very competitive right now? I mean, other than outlier seasons, it is hard for a Group of 5 team right now to be competing with those teams, and has been every year. That's why the Boise State run of way back when and the occasional runs of that Group of 5 team that have a great season. That's why those are so special, is because there's usually like one team, maybe two, that can be competitive. But that's kind of been happening for a while. I do think it's going to be even harder for a Group of 5 team to compete, but it's hard. It's been hard for a long time.
I meant to. I screwed up. It's 138. I forgot about our good friends in Sacramento State Hornets, joining the MAC. That was a nice little thing to follow over the weekend.
Sack up to the MAC.
What I will say, I was listening to Dan Wetzelbuck. Oh, yeah, it's a little over. Come on.
Sacramento.
Dan Wetzel talked about this last night on I think it was the College Game Day pod or whatever. I really think I think he has sold me on what I think the future of college athletics is. I think we put a little too much stock in the idea of just football like splitting away and doing everything. Wetzel's kind of argument. Oh, hey, U.S. 3-0. Let's go.
USA.
Let's
USA.
Go. It doesn't make sense for like all ACC programs to like have like, like if you're Syracuse to have like, I don't know, like your basketball program, your football program, your lacrosse program, all that in the same conference. Like, and that was his kind of argument. Like, why not just do every sport by different conferences and all that, and just kind of keep it at that? And then in terms of the money and everything there, particularly with football and all that, you're almost just selling the rights to games in and of themselves. And he used the example of like Michigan and Ohio State. That's like a $200 million game. If you're splitting that between Michigan and Ohio State, you're already getting more than you're getting paid from the Big Ten at that point.
I mean, isn't the answer because you need leadership that can, like UNM needs Ryan Berryman to sit in a meeting that covers 10 of their sports, as opposed to today I'm doing the baseball meeting with the whatever conference. I mean, I think that's part of the reason, but he's not wrong about the whole. I mean, it's so obvious at the top. At least the football part of this whole thing needs to be
4-0. 4-0.
4-0.
4-0.
USA.
Yeah. I thought it was an interesting idea. In practice, honestly, it would be a lot different as opposed to just a guy talking on a podcast. But I don't know. That's something I was thinking about. Anyways, Santa Clara.
All right. Was VCU and Santa Clara Patino scheduling? The VCU home and home was. That was Ryan Odom and Richard Patino scheduling a home and home. The Santa Clara game the Santa Clara game home and home was scheduled this year by Olin and staff, but there was a exhibition game with Santa Clara this year that was already sort of going to happen anyway. But this year's team converted it to a regular season home and home. So a little bit of both. I mean, Santa Clara was going to come to the pit for an exhibition game, and that was already on the books from Patino. This year's staff converted that when they needed games, and Santa Clara needed games too, to a home and home. Cronin apologized today. Guess he got the message from above. Man, I don't know if he got the message from above, meaning like his AD, or if like a mentor or somebody in his life, just like if Rick Pitino called him and said, "Dude, what are you doing?" Or like the boss at home, like if his wife just told him, "Dude, you look like such an ass doing that."
Mick does not have a wife. He has a dog, as he has mentioned in multiple press conferences in the past.
Good call.
Most guys like to go out to eat after games. Me, I just want to go see my dog.
Maybe his dad, who was at many of his games, told him, "Dude, you look like an ass." Scott's being fired would be directly due to the host parents of cadets that overhear complaints.
Why are parents in quotations here?
Sure. I don't know. I will say that the treatment of of cadets, people around the program think it's been toxic for a while, and I will tell you that is not just parents that think that. Now, it might have been parents that elevated to this level, and people kind of knew what they were getting into and all that kind of stuff, and people around the program probably maybe thought he was a little bit harsh, but like it wasn't like they were the ones trying to create the suspension. It might have come about because of parents, but it's not just parents that think things were getting a little rough around the edges with Scott and his coaching. And just to be clear too, for a service academy to step in and do this because of harsh treatment of cadets, I'm going to lean on my suspicion here that it must have been pretty bad, because they get coached up pretty hard outside of the basketball practices too. They're doing some pretty rough stuff. So Desert Lobo is back in on YouTube. To your knowledge, has New Mexico United ever approached the Sandia Resort about building a stadium near the resort? Plenty of land. Albuquerque residents can't protest it, and closer to Santa Fe for those fans. Yes. There's been Sandia discussions with United a lot, and I don't think the ownership group wants to hand over as much maybe as they'd have to basically do that. Or maybe Sandia didn't want to build the stadium there. I don't know. Again, this all comes down, like the big question with United and the stadium, it all comes down to one thing: is who is going to pay $100 million for a stadium? The ownership group, the taxpayers, Sandia Resort and Casino, which, by the way, Sandia Sportsbook is a fantastic sponsor and a great,
wonderful place to watch a game. Wonderful place.
It comes down to like who's going to pay the bill, right? There's land out there. I don't think land is actually the issue at this point anymore. The city of Albuquerque's given them land. They've talked to UNM about some of that land out there, which is now going to go to the development. There's going to be a Target and then an Outburger out there and all that kind of stuff, kind of by the pit and by the baseball fields and all that kind of stuff. I don't think land's been the big issue here. The county already gave them land for a practice facility at the Mesa del Sol area. And I just think it comes down to, does this private ownership group want to pay it? No. They don't. Do taxpayers want to pay it? Nope. They voted it down. Does Sandia want to foot the whole bill? No. So, okay, they're kind of piecing together. This lawmaker is going to give us this 300,000. That lawmaker might give us $1 million. They're trying to piece together enough money for a stadium at this point. And look, man, they've almost been around a decade. And the bylaws said when you joined the USL, you had 3 years to get your own stadium. And as popular as United's been here, they're more than any team in the USL. And the USL loses teams every single year. It's the most. It's worse than conference realignment. How many teams come and go in that league, and the stability there's worrisome. But look, as good a program and as good a franchise as not franchise, as good I guess franchise as United is and successful it's been with the fans. It's been almost a decade, and they've not yet settled the stadium situation, which a lot of other USL teams have either folded because of those type of issues or kind of moved on to other things or gotten the stadium done, and it just still hasn't got done. It's kind of, frankly, it's a little frustrating. So anyway.
Shout out Sandia. Appreciate them. Well, we gave a lot of thoughts on Cronin, man. I'm looking at your back right now, so you should have been in the show earlier. No, I think
he looks an awful lot like Geoff Sandia.
I think a lot of it. I know UCLA fans are very frustrated with. And now Matt just turned around and he's laughing. I know UCLA fans are very frustrated with Mick Cronin at this point. I have a really hard time seeing them firing him, though. Knowing how cash-strapped UCLA kind of is right now. And then, even if they waited to get that buyout down to $18 million, I just don't think that's in the cards.
I will say that what he's done just this week alone is probably more embarrassing than anything Jerome Tang did, other than that Jerome Tang wasn't coaching very well, but you just can't fire for cause.
Well, I don't know. The Jerome Tang, Iowa State, signal stealing thing, that was pretty bad.
If that's what you're firing him for.
That wasn't – well, that's not what they're firing him for. You're right.
That's the weird thing to me, man. Like, if you wanted to get rid of him, you had an opening.
Yeah.
They live with hosts that act like parents.
Oh, okay. All right, I got you. Yeah.
I got it.
Yep. That's on us.
I think we need a life advice closer each episode. I like it. Similar to Ryan Russillo does that.
Matt, let's try it today. Send it in.
Yeah.
Why not?
Send us your question about life, and I'll make something up good for you, man.
We'll see what we can do. I really like you can take life advice from you're 47.
I am
47, and then the 47-year-old and the 25-year-old. Really just too interesting.
I've been texted a free live link for ABC Prep. ABC Prep has a big event this weekend, folks. You guys should go watch it. And maybe I'll share a link here in a minute on my socials. So, all right. So let's talk some Lobo basketball real quick. They play Fresno State tomorrow. Zion Collins is the point guard for Fresno State, who was not available in the pit when the Lobos beat Fresno State in January. And the Lobos had a season-high 18 steals in that game. They scored 29 points off turnovers. That's not going to happen again tomorrow with him back. I will say Fresno State does have two reserves that are now injured and probably not going to play. Jake Hybrider is going to be listed as questionable, but he'll play. He's had back spasms, but they've been sort of eyeing this game as his return. But, Zion Collins and Jake Hybrider are one of the best guard combos in the entire Mountain West. And now they've added Deshaun Gore, who's a really good freshman forward. I really think Fresno State's a somewhat dangerous team. And I was going to say, deceiving record, but they're 6-9. That's not a horrible record. I don't think they're one of the top half teams in the league, but they're a lot better than the preseason pick of 11th in the league. And they are dangerous. The Lobos aren't just going to walk in there and win this. That's for sure. I will add this real quick. Doug Gottlieb meltdowns make me laugh. Yeah, his meltdowns are different than Cronin's, but
his against that T, I get where he's coming from. It was a little gratuitous, banging the podium and all that, but you look at what actually happened and all that,
and if you listen to it, they have the audio. You could hear
that's the exact same call. Exact same.
A lot, his post game rant was technical worthy. but his in-game rant wasn't, and it was kind of like Eric Olin's, like calm, quiet, like that's the same call, like, and Olin got one too. But anyway, all right, let's do this one real quick. Who would be the top of the list if Olin leaves?
You had a story out last night and today that kind of broached the idea of Olin leaving.
Yeah, I mean, Olin's name's going to start popping up. I mean, look,
has already been popping up a little bit.
Yeah, his agent is Brett Just. Brett Just is the top agent in college basketball. Brett Just is going to do what he can for his candidates. 5-0. And yeah, Eric Olin's name. Eric Olin at UC San Diego was already on everybody's radar. There were just a lot of power conference schools that wanted to see him do it one step higher before they could justify hiring him. Well, he's done that this year at New Mexico, that you'd still want in a perfect world if you're one of those power conference schools. 2-3 years success. But I'll tell you what, if in 1 year of eligibility for the NCAA tournament at UC San Diego, he makes the tournament in one season with the complete roster turnover and complete staff turnover at UNM, he makes the NCAA tournament. Like, a lot of power conference schools are going to be very, very interested in Eric. And I think he's in a good spot like Eck, where it's not that UNM can match some of the offers, but you can bet on yourself a little bit, where if you don't want to take the worst job in the league, you don't want to take a low power conference job just because it pays more. Eric could be in a spot where he thinks in the next couple of years he could kind of pick a real ideal situation, maybe back to California if that's where he wants to go, or he and his wife are from Alabama, maybe back that direction where their families are from, even though they spent the last 21 years in San Diego area. Some people say, it's natural that he'll go back to Southern California. Well, I mean, he and his wife and their parent, both sets of parents, live in Alabama, and they may want to go back that direction, So anyway, I just think he's in a position where he will be offered something good. Offered too. I don't think just rumored. I think he will be offered something good, but I don't think that necessarily means he takes it in year one. I think he can be a little selective, because I think he can risk, even in the new Mountain West, having another good year and people understanding that even if they don't make the tournament next year, if he has another year where he performs well, people kind of get that the new Mountain West isn't exactly what this Mountain West is. So, I think he can kind of pick a better job over the next few years if he wants to, and that's the position he'll be in. But there you go. The big question I wanted to know was, like, who's actually going to make the call? We have an outgoing president. We have a interim athletic director. So while Fernando Lobo was able to negotiate with Jason Eck during the football season and get a new contract renegotiated by November before the season ended, who's doing that at UNM? And the answer is the interim has the authority to do it all and make the recommendation to Stokes, who was still the president till this summer. So it's all, I guess, as normal.
Who would be the top of the list if Owen leaves?
I don't know. I'll tell you, Tom Tinklewitz is going to be a head coach. I don't know that he's ready to take his first head coaching job at UNM, but Tom Tinklewitz, an assistant coach on this roster, he's going to be a good head coach. I think this staff has a bunch of good future head coaches. At maybe lower level schools, maybe Big West level schools, at least for beginners. But like he's put together a staff that really, they know ball. They know ball.
He know ball knowers, man.
I did skip over one, so here we go. Give me your 3 bets I should put in at Sandia.
Well, before we do this, we do want to advise you to always gamble responsibly. Always place wagers responsibly and all that. I don't know. Do you have anything on the board you like this week?
Oh, I have not all of my picks,
because I don't really gamble anymore.
Yeah, so. The big takeaway is follow the picks I post and take them to the bank. I mean, we're talking mortgage and rent.
If this holds, with Slovakia and U.S. is playing for a gold medal, I would advise you to responsibly place a wager on the United States of America to win a gold medal in hockey.
Interesting.
Yes. I don't know if you're going to get great odds, but.
All right. Anything else Lobo football wise?
Anything football wise? We're in a really quiet period. I have not obviously had a ton of football stories out yet. This is always kind of a weird spot where they get everything in for National Signing Day and the portal and all that. And it's not that you're really kind of waiting for the start of spring practice, but you kind of are really waiting for the start of spring practice. So there's a couple things I've had on my list that I haven't been able to get to in terms of football, in terms of more feature kind of stories. But there was a nice bit of news on Friday that we didn't address because we didn't do it. Did we do a show last week? I don't even remember.
Yeah, but it wasn't Friday.
You're right. Carson Walsh, who is a guy that has connections to Eck, has connections as well to offensive coordinator Luke Schleissner, is coming on board as UNM's wide receivers coach and offensive passing game coordinator. Guy that has worked in the NFL, worked in the CFL. The one position coach role that wasn't like an assistant position coach role. He was the Eagles wide receivers coach in 2019, and right after that, Doug Peterson and Carson Wentz Super Bowl, or excuse me, Nick Foles Super Bowl, I should say. A guy that's had a ton of connections with Eck and Schleissner, and him coming on board that as receivers coach, that led them to shuffle Zach Lujan to tight ends coach. That to me was something that Eck, and I think I talked about on the show last week, that was something to me that Eck kind of telegraphed in his press conference. He outright said before it was known that Walsh was coming on board that he thinks that Lujan can coach pretty much any offensive position except for the offensive line, and that's just the kind of coach he is. He's that smart, and that'll be happening here now too. So I think it was a good hire. Probably to me, with the exception of maybe just getting Lujan in the building, I think Walsh is probably a guy that really strikes me as kind of the best hire. This is a guy who Eck would bring up and Schleissner would bring up every now and then in occasional conversations I had with them. So I think that's something to be excited about. And of course, we now have dates for New Mexico and New Mexico State's next 4 meetings. That was another piece that came out on Friday. There's an interesting piece of language in the contract that we were texting about on Friday, and I included in the story I wrote about that, stipulating that the band can has a certain number of seats and all that as well too. After that was an issue in 2023, was not an issue in 2024, was not an issue in 2025, at least to my knowledge. But 2023, that certainly kind of crescendoed there. But yeah,
I went ahead and did a good fire grammar kind of thing while you're talking football there, and pulled up the basketball schedule for the weekend to the previous question, because why wouldn't I? This is the.
It'd be great if I could read this.
Yeah, the Mountain West slate for tomorrow. Anybody who's reading this on their phone or watching this on their phone, good luck. But maybe on your computer screen you can. All right, so the slate for tomorrow, because some you guys are asking for picks. Let's see, we got UNLV at Air Force. If you want to just pick a winner there, I'd go with UNLV, but maybe Air Force covers that, man. That's a game UNLV goes and screws up a lot. San Jose State at Boise State should be interesting. San Jose State coming off a win against Nevada, which was a big surprise. San Diego State at Colorado State's a good one, because Colorado State's won 3 of the last 4 in Fort Collins, and the one win that San Diego State had, I believe, was an overtime win anyway. So you go to Fort Collins and you're getting a game if you're San Diego State. Wyoming at Grand Canyon, Utah State at Nevada's the game of the day, I would say, in terms of contenders and top half of the standings kind of stuff. And then, of course, New Mexico at Fresno State at 6 p.m. New Mexico's in a spot now where bad losses will probably kick them out of the tournament. They're not out of the tournament now. Mike DeCourcy, in fact, today has them in. But yeah, the games like this and the Colorado State game at home, you can't lose those. The other 3 games are at Nevada, at Utah State, and versus San Diego State in the pit. You can lose one of those 3 games and still be in the NCAA tournament at large as an at-large team. You can't lose all 3 of them, but you definitely can't lose the home game against Colorado State or tomorrow's game at Fresno State. So, and it's not going to be an easy one against Fresno State, but I do think that, they're the better team. New Mexico is. So, game of the day tomorrow, though, is definitely this right here. Let me zoom in if it even zooms. No, well, there we go.
Whoa. Okay.
Utah State at Nevada is the game of the day at Lawler, and we'll see. The way Utah State's playing right now, it's sort of I kind of poo-poo this when people bring it up, but I'll bring it up anyway. So let me go ahead and poo-poo my own bring up of Utah State seems to be peaking right now. And can you peak too early? Can they sustain this level of play for the next several weeks? I don't know that you can. They're playing really, really good right now. And And if they can play this good for another month, they're going to be a second weekend team, a Sweet 16 team. And if they have a little bit of dip somewhere along the way, then maybe not. But they're playing so good right now. All right. That's all I got. You got anything else?
No.
What about the life advice stuff? Let's go to that.
Matt. Matt. Hold on.
I'm pulling up the comments here. Oops, what's that about? Where do we go?
You want me to go ask him for if he needs life advice?
I'm pulling up some comments here to see if we got some life advice. You got what's the non-conference game that you're looking forward to most there?
Pretty easy, Oklahoma. You always look forward to kind of those big P4 games at really cool stadiums and stuff like that too. I have been to Oklahoma when I was driving to move out here, but that was driving through the Panhandle. Which is a place I probably never want to go to ever again. But no, I'm looking forward to seeing Norman and looking forward to doing Oklahoma. I need to hit up Nick Coppola, see what recommendations he has for the area because he is an Oklahoma alum. But yeah, easily Oklahoma.
So with these questions at the end of the show, I should write down some of the ones my 6-year-old daughter's really been into lately. Hey, Dad, would you rather? She's been doing some would you rather stuff like, would you rather have like all the toys in the world, but you can't play with any of them, or no toys at all, but you can play with like whatever else you want or something. And like, she's asking like these real tough ones. And some of them get kind of dark too. Like, would you rather, fight? Like, I don't know. I know I turned one into okay. Would you rather, have to fight? I asked Amelia, was her name. I said, Amelia, would you rather fight 10,000 roly-polies or one gorilla? And she said, 10,000 roly-polies because I could, step on them. And I said, okay, how about one gorilla-sized roly-poly or one roly-poly sized gorilla? And she said, well, definitely the gorilla. And I said, I don't know, man. Like, a roly-poly, even as a gorilla size, probably still just going to roll up, right?
It'd be visually overwhelming, in my opinion.
It
would be pretty distressing to look at. Yeah. As a guy that's not big into insects, like, I don't know.
So we've been doing a lot.
That's kind of cool, man. I'd probably put him in my pocket, carry him around.
We've been doing a lot of that, but he could still fight. He's still fighting you the whole time.
Well, put him in a little box, man. It's a little gorilla. What do I care?
So you're going to
roly size gorilla? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's tiny.
Yeah, it's real tiny.
Like, you might.
Are there roly polies out here? I don't know if I've seen a roly poly. Are there really? Okay.
There are at our house. I can tell you that.
Oh, really? Okay.
She's a big finder of the roly polies. So
I used to love growing up, dude. It would like rain and the slugs would come out. Love the slugs in the sidewalk, man.
Love her the slug, huh?
Dude, I love those slugs.
I don't know when the last time I've seen a slug.
You got to tap back in on slugs, man.
Yeah. Big fan of the slugs, huh?
You got a slug max.
You ever eaten a slug?
No, I used to. We would occasionally salt the slugs, and at one point I just started feeling really bad. I was like, this isn't cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like psychopath tendencies there, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't like that. No. I got too much respect for the slug now.
Too much
Matt, life advice. Matt.
All right, sounds good, guys. Let's
life advice.
Is he gonna
life advice? Life advice. Hold on. Sending your life advice. We need life advice. Oh, you want to do it live?
Let's do it.
Yeah. All right, we have special guest, Albuquerque Journal business editor Matthew Narvaez. Matt, welcome to the show, man. First time you've been on,
guys.
Right?
Second time actually. I think we talked MMA before, maybe like a year ago or something like that.
Okay, what do you need? What do you need advice with?
There are a lot of things.
What are your thoughts on roly polies?
Slugs.
I'm not a fan of insects, so.
Yeah, wow, you guys have a unique bond there.
We don't like bugs.
I'm scared of spiders. What else? Life advice. I actually, you know what? It's deeply personal life advice.
Then
maybe
why'd
offline.
you bring it up? Why'd you bring it up, man? Rusilla does that too. He just does it like in an anonymous.
Yes,
kind of forum.
yes. Not live on air. So
you were the one who walked into the room.
By the way, Steve Singletary is in, and he's on YouTube saying the last slug he saw was after the rain at NMSU campus in 1995.
Wow, you got to go all the way back to 95 for the slugs.
I don't like that. Could have been the last time I saw a slug too, for all I know, around that same time. But like, B, how the hell do you know? How do you know that?
I don't know. I saw a lot of slugs, so I don't. Probably when I was like, I didn't see a lot. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe like 14.
You know what's sad? You guys want me to hit you with something kind of a little depressing?
Like life advice depressing, or just depressing?
You never know when the last time you're going to see a slug is.
Sure. Right.
You never know when that's the last time you're going to see a slug.
You're right.
That hit home.
Could be on the campus in 95.
Appreciate the slugs in your life.
Before I leave, I actually do have something depressing. I realized my vernacular as a 29-year-old is not where it should be with where the young kids are at now. So
what do you mean by that though? What do you mean by that?
Everyone's using like jester maxing, mogging, and I still say fire and drip. So I'm getting old, is what I'm saying.
No, but like you don't feel bad about like not using like jester maxing.
Well, I'm learning. I want to.
I don't think you need to.
No,
I don't think you have to.
Well, that's how
you
we
should avoid brain rot. Like, in general.
Yes, I've been watching clips of streamers and just trying to brush up on my knowledge of.
I don't even know what words you guys are saying.
Yeah, like it's a lot to get into.
Jester maxing is just joking around.
Well,
yeah, but it comes from very deep parts of the internet.
I in general, I don't condone this vernacular either. So, yes.
Well, yeah, that's it. I'm getting old. 29.
Okay.
Jeez. All right, guys. Well, I got to go back to work.
All right, bye, Matt. Thanks for hopping on.
Of course.
Talk to you.
See you, Matt. I'm trying to see if there's any other comments here. No, I guess not.
You want to land this plane? Close this book.
Sure.
Slam the door.
You know what I still have up here saved is this.
To anybody watching this and maybe also feeling like Matt and feeling confused that you don't know what jester maxing means or mogging means, don't worry about that. It doesn't matter at all in the slightest. So yeah.
Good, because I don't know.
Yeah, I really don't want you to like learn about it. Like you're the dangerous one. Like
no, I like when I learned
for your daughter's sake, like like we can't have you walking around talking about maxing or mogging.
All right, so here's the funny part about me and social media and all that good stuff is like every now and then my daughter's like, hey Dad, this guy at school follows you apparently on X, and then I look him up and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna totally embarrass her, but like through social media now, like some of her friends follow me on social media, which is kind of a weird place to be in life, but yeah, I feel bad for her. Not that bad, but like kind of bad.
Probably shouldn't feel that bad.
No. One more comment just popped in, and it is at the bottom. Oh man.
Yeah, he did. I can't lie. I hope Matt's listening to this right now because no, he absolutely frame mogged me. He was the ASU frat leader. 100%. He definitely is hearing this right now. No, he completely frame mogged me, Trey. Pretty disappointing. I don't even have a bad frame. Like pretty all right frame, but it is what it is. Think of it. You gotta like, next time you're in the office, we'll talk about this. I'll explain it. I'll explain it like pro wrestling, because that basically is what it is.
What the hell's going on here?
I don't know.
How are you going to talk to me about pro wrestling when I asked you if you had ever heard of the British Bulldogs and you said no?
Yeah, but like it's like the same. It's like same concepts, like heels and stuff like that. Like like the ASU frat leader is a heel. Yeah. So we'll. I don't know how to artfully get out of this now. But it is pretty embarrassing. I just got frame logged as hard as I did. So,
Well, abqjournal.com/sports is where you can get all our sports coverage, all Sean's coverage of frame mogging in football. James Otis has been killing it as per usual for
yes, he
James
has.
Otis
Oh
on
my
high school
goodness.
sports. And I'll have some Lobo basketball every now and then, including probably later this afternoon that I should probably start, writing now since I got a plane to catch later tonight.
Thank you to everybody for tuning into our show. Thank you to Sandia Sportsbook for being a gracious sponsor to our show. Before we hop off, not to get depressing again because it's been a weird 10 minutes, but obviously some really bad news last 2 days. Wes Rucker, who is a guy that I followed covering Tennessee, and then if he did it for 24/7, really long time in the Tennessee beat, and then Joey Knight, another guy I read with Tampa Bay Times. Both those guys passed away. Pretty depressing news. So think about their families and all that as well. If you are still inclined, I would encourage you to maybe donate to one of the funds available for those families.
There you go. Look at Sean doing good. Well, see you later.
Thanks, everybody.